we can say that is recovery.
Yes, when something starts from a point and it reaches to the same point and again it starts and reaches to the same point. This process is called as cycling process, isn't it? Now, the characteristics of the living things that we know, the very first thing and important is the organisms, they are able to reproduce. What is meant by reproduce? Once it is produced, then it cannot be again produced. That is the produce. And reproduce means same kind of thing. It is produces again and again. So when a cell is formed from a parent cell, then this daughter cell they grow and again they divide to produce same kind of cells. So this process of the production of same kind of cells, this is called as reproduction. Okay. Now, therefore, the reproduction is the characteristic of all the living things and all organisms. A human being produces a human being, a bird produces a bird, a fish produces a fish, a plant seed produces a plant from which the seed is formed. So, this process is called as reproduction. So, the ability of the organism to produce more of their own kind and to distinguish between living things from non living things, this is the very, very important character. Then, the continuity of life is based on the reproduction of the cells. It means the cells they are continuously produced and reproduced inside the body of any living organism. And the process of the production of the cell is by means of the division of the cells that are present already present inside the cell. So the production of cell is the process of cell division. As we have studied in the cell theory, that a cell originates from the pre-existing cells. A cell itself cannot independently produce, but it has to originate from the pre-existing cells only. Now, cycle the cell cycle is a sequence of cell growth and cell division. The cell cycle is the period from the beginning of one cell division to the beginning of the next cell division. So this is called as a cell cycle. The time it takes to complete one cell cycle is the generation time, which means a cell is generated from the pre-existing cell. Therefore, it is also called as generation time. Now, cell divides when they reach a certain size. Okay, when we say the cell is dividing continuously, so if you take a ball, for example, and you cut it into two, then what happens? The ball is divided into two pieces. But if this ball doesn't reach to the original size and if you again cut it, then what you get? You get one fourth part of the original cell. It means the size is reducing. The more and more division you make, you get more and more smaller sizes. But in this way, if a cell divides continuously without its growth, then what will happen? The size of the cell will reduce contents of the cell will reduce, and it is very difficult for a nucleus even to divide. So, to avoid that and to maintain the whole chromosome structure, whole nucleus structure, whole cytoplasmic contents inside the cell, and even after cell division inside the daughter cells, after every cell division, cells divide and they reach to a certain size. So when the cells attain a certain size, then the process of cell division restarts. But there are some cells which are present in the body, they never divide again once they are produced. These cells, they are nerve cells, skeletal muscle cells, and RBCs or red blood cells. The cell division involves two types of cell divisions, that is, one is mitosis and another is cytokinesis. The mitosis involves the division of the chromosomes, and the cytokinesis involves the division of cytoplasm. So, in every cell division, the chromosome part or the genetic material is present inside the nucleus, that is equally divided into two parts, and then the cytoplasm is divided into two parts, and the two daughter cells, they are produced. If there is no separation of two cells produced after the mitosis, then what happens? Then mitosis without cytokinesis or without division of the cytoplasm, it becomes a multinucleate structure. It means a cell contains more than one nucleus. A cell cycle can be defined as the entire sequence of events happening from the end of one nuclear division to the beginning of the next cell nuclear division. The cell cycle involves the following three cycles. The first is the chromosome cycle, second is the cytoplasmic cycle, and third is the centromere cycle or centrosome cycle. The chromosome cycle includes the division of genetic material. Cytoplasmic cycle includes the division of cytoplasm, and centrosome cycle includes the formation of centrosomes. Thus, the chromosome cycle, in this, the DNA is synthesized and alternates with the mitosis or karyokinesis or nuclear division. Double helical DNA molecule is replicated into two identical daughter DNA molecules. In cytoplasmic cycle, in it the cell growth alternates with cytokinesis or cytoplasmic division. The components of the cell that contains RNA, protein and membranes double in quantity and during cytokinesis. Then the centrosome cycle, it is inherited reliably, duplicated precisely in order to form the two poles of the mitotic spindles, and thus the centrosome cycle is completed. Why the centrosome cycle? Because after complete cell division, when two daughter cells are produced, each daughter cell receives only one centrosome, and before next cell division it has to duplicate itself, so that again when there is cell division taking place, they can move to two poles and process the cell division. Now, as we have seen, there are two types of cells. One is eukaryotic cell and another is prokaryotic cell. Now we study the mitosis in or the cell cycle of the eukaryotic cell. In the case of eukaryotic cell, the cell cycle it begins with one division and it is continued till the next cell division. Then there are basically two phases that are present in the eukaryotic cell cycle. The first is interphase and another is mitosis phase. This interphase is again divided into three different phases. That is first gap phase, which is also called as G1 phase. Second is the synthesis phase, also called as S phase. Then second gap phase, also called as G2 phase, and M phase, which is for the mitosis or complete cell division, and cytokinesis. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the cell cycle. Here, after the completion of cytokinesis, two daughter cells they are formed. Then the cells they enter in the G1 phase. This is called as growth phase. And during this growth phase, different cell membranes, cell organelles, they are produced by the cell, size of the cell increase, cell content increases. Then in the second phase, that is S phase, there is a synthesis of the genetic material takes place, that is called as DNA replication. So the whole chromosome sets they are duplicated in the synthetic phase. Then the next phase is G2 phase of the interphase, where the DNA starts supercoiling, and then the process of mitosis is supposed to begin from this from the completion of this phase. Then the next phase is mitosis phase, that is M phase. This M phase is divided into five different phases, which in which the first include four phases of the nuclear division, and the fifth one is the cytoplasmic division. The mitosis it is related with the nuclear division, which includes four different phases. The first phase is prophase, second phase is metaphase, third is anaphase, and fourth is telophase. After the completion of telophase, when the chromosomes they reach towards two poles and get equally divided, then the cytokinesis process begins, and at the end of the cytokinesis, two daughter cells are produced. Now we will see what are the important events that are occurring in the process of cell cycle. As we have seen, the cell cycle includes two phases. One is interphase and another is mitosis phase or cell division phase. The chromosomes they became duplicated during the interphase. Cells are very active during interphase. They synthesize biological molecules and growing the G1 phase. The GS is the synthesis phase that is marked by the DNA replication, and the G2 phase or gap phase occurs between the S phase and mitosis. In the G1 phase, the synthesis of biological molecules and growth of the cell takes place. This occurs or this begins after the M phase of previous cell cycle, and the daughter cells begin the G1 of the interphase. The G1 phase is also the resting phase or first gap phase where no DNA synthesis takes place. In the first growth phase, the synthesis of RNA, synthesis of proteins, synthesis of different membranes, synthesis of and growth of the nucleus, growth of the cytoplasm of each daughter cell takes place. During this phase, the chromatin material in the nucleus it is unwinded and it remains fully extended for the synthesis of different types of RNAs. This is also called as the time of resumption of the normal cell metabolism. That is, all the cellular activities are taking place during the G1 phase. Yes, the transcription of three types of RNA is taking place. When the ribosomal RNA is synthesized in the G1 phase, it means there is a formation of nucleolus is has taken place in the nucleus. The proteins that are required they carry out the regulatory controls of the events of the mitosis. They are the enzymes such as DNA polymerase necessary for the DNA synthesis, tubulin and other mitotic apparatus proteins they are produced. In G1 phase only the variable as to the duration that occupies 30 to 50% total time of the cell cycle. It means G1 phase is the very long phase of the interphase. Then it lacks entirely in rapidly dividing cells. But this G1 phase is absent in the cells such as blastomeres. Then terminally differentiating somatic cells such as neurons and striated muscles cells division arrested at the G1 phase only. That is, there is no formation of DNA polymerase enzyme, there is no formation of DNA synthesis, there is no formation of tubulin and other mitotic apparatus protein molecules. So these structures, they are not produced in the G1 cell stage in the neurons and muscle cells. Therefore, this cell is called as zero phase or G0 phase.